Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into a really fascinating dynamic in classical Vedic astrology. We're going to navigate the complex emotional traits, the hidden strengths, and the unique challenges of having your moon right there in the ascendant. So if you've ever felt like your emotions are literally the driving force in your life, well, you're going to want to pay close attention. Let's get right into it. Let me ask you this. Do you absorb the emotions of everyone in the room? Like, do you walk into a space and just instantly feel the tension or the joy or even the unspoken anxiety of the people around you? For a lot of us, this isn't just basic empathy. It's actually an astrological blueprint. Today, we're unpacking exactly why some of us operate like emotional sponges, and more importantly, how we can actually manage it using insights from classical texts. Okay, let's dive into this by putting these ancient concepts into the real world. I want you to meet Alex. So Alex is a young professional just stepping into their first corporate job. They're armed with a fresh degree, plenty of eagerness, and, probably an unhealthy dependence on break room coffee. But Alex is also armed with high sensitivity and a first house moon. We're going to follow Alex's journey today to see exactly how this classical theory translates directly into the modern workspace. Section 1. The Lunar Identity. How the moon shapes who you are. So when you place the deeply emotional, receptive moon right in the ascendant, it creates a highly sensitive and intuitive personality. What this means for our young professional Alex is that they feel absolutely everything deeply. Their very identity is completely intertwined with their emotional responses. It directly shapes how they perceive every single meeting, every email, literally every interaction in their life. Moving to Section 2, the empath at work, navigating office undercurrents. Now, what's really interesting about this is that when you carry your emotions on your sleeve, the office isn't just a place to do business. It's kind of like an emotional minefield. Classical texts actually state that for this placement, environment, people, and emotional atmosphere deeply affect the native's mental state. And that perfectly validates why Alex might walk into, say, a Tuesday morning status meeting and just suddenly feel totally exhausted before they've even spoken a word. They are literally absorbing the stress of the project manager, the frustration of the design team, the whole shebang. The emotional atmosphere completely dictates their mental state. Because of this soft, caring, and nurturing nature, people with this placement are actually often highly popular. I mean, they're universally liked. Alex shows genuine empathy and concern for their coworkers, which easily makes them the office favorite. But it is a double-edged sword. Because they take in so much, they're extremely susceptible to rapid, unpredictable mood shifts. One harsh piece of feedback from a boss, or even just one tense interaction in the break room, and Alex's mood can just swing wildly. Section 3. Intuition and creative power. Harnessing the inner world. Let's shift our focus inward for a second. In the corporate world, we know the ideal is usually relying on logic, right? Data-driven decisions, methodical analysis. But Alex's true superpower lies in relying on instinct. While everyone else is, staring blankly at spreadsheets, Alex is reading the room. They know instinctively who's resisting an idea and who's on board just through this rapid emotional perception. It's like a sixth sense. And this sensitivity fuels something else entirely, a rich inner world filled with artistic ability and storytelling talent. The exact same sensitivity that makes office politics so draining is actually Alex's creative engine. People with the moon in the first house possess just immense imagination. Whether they're designing a marketing campaign, writing a pitch, or finding out-of-the-box solutions, it's that rich inner world that drives their absolute best, most imaginative work. So the crucial point we have to acknowledge is that this highly tuned internal radar comes with a fairly hefty price tag. We're talking late-night overthinking, anxiety, and self-doubt, especially during stressful phases. When you're this emotionally perceptive, it's incredibly hard to just turn the radar off at 5 p.m. During high-pressure projects, Alex might really struggle with emotional insecurity, literally replaying conversations in their head and overanalyzing every single interaction. Section 4. External and planetary influences. The deeper astrological modifiers. In astrology, nothing happens in a vacuum, right? Specific planetary modifiers adjust these baseline emotional traits. First up, we have the maternal blueprint. Classical texts state that the mother or maternal figures play a massive foundational role here. Because the first house moon heavily represents this, early maternal attachments act as the absolute blueprint for the native psychological patterns. So how Alex was nurtured in childhood directly shapes their comfort levels, their personality, and basically how they process emotional security as a young adult navigating the professional world. And there are deeper astrological modifiers that alter this baseline. For instance, the moon phase. A waxing moon, growing brighter, actually increases the visibility and intensity of these emotional traits, making them much more outwardly expressive. A waning moon, on the other hand, might make those exact same emotions more internalized. Then we have conjunctions. If Alex's moon is conjunct Saturn, it adds discipline and a serious tone. Rahu might bring intense obsession or really unpredictable emotional swings, while Ketu often creates a deep sense of detachment. The sun brings ego into the mix, and Jupiter bestows profound emotional wisdom and optimism. Astrology is highly specific. The results depend strongly on the exact zodiac sign the moon is in, that waxing or waning phase we just talked about, conjunctions, and the overall condition of the fourth house and the ascendant lord. Basically, this means every single person with this placement is going to experience their sensitivity a bit differently, depending on their own unique celestial fingerprint. Section 5. Finding your inner stability, the ultimate spiritual lesson. Understanding your astrological placement is really only half the battle. The other half is personal growth and actionable balance. So here are some highly actionable steps for young professionals like Alex, and really anyone watching with high sensitivity, to maintain your equilibrium when the office atmosphere gets too heavy. Step 1. Acknowledge the mood shift without absorbing it. Notice attention in the room, sure, but label it as theirs, not yours. Step 2. Step away from toxic emotional environments. If a project is just dripping with negativity, you have to set firm boundaries. And step 3. Channel that sensitivity into a creative outlet. Don't let that emotional energy stagnate. Use your natural storytelling and artistic talents to release it. And this brilliantly illustrates the long-term journey of this placement. Over time, the moon teaches emotional maturity, stability, and exactly how to avoid being overly controlled by changing feelings. For Alex and for you, having the moon in the first house isn't some curse of eternal overthinking. Actually, scratch that. It's more like a lifelong spiritual lesson in mastering your own mind and learning to navigate the world with a beautifully open yet protected heart. I want to leave you with this final, vital question to ponder today. Are your emotions your compass, or are they your cage? When properly understood and managed, your sensitivity is literally the greatest navigational tool you possess. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep exploring your inner landscape, and we'll see you in the next one.